all y'all's journey has probably been, or is different to get here, where there's different staffs, different schools, different coaches, different teammates. How is this season, this year, this team, this staff different than the past, than your past potentially?
I would say when it comes to the staff, they just it's completely different from the staff that I had last year with Coach Allen. Coach Sig is just kind of his way or the highway kind of guy. So if it ain't his way, if it ain't done how he like it, then he gonna get somebody else that will do how he like it. And just with the teammates, it's just everybody hungry. Everybody, cause we not used to winning here. We ain't been winning in a while. So everybody want to change that and just be a part of something special and make history. So I believe them are the two biggest things that I've seen that's different from the past couple of years I've been here.
For me, I spent my last 4 years at Wake Forest playing football there. And that was another program that was up and down. You know, we had some successful years, some successful teams, and we had some not so good years. And, you know, coming here, you know, we had a lot of guys out the portal. And, you know, where I was at, you know, there was already a culture established in terms of what the standard was and everything. And, you know, coming here, we kind of had to be the foundation to like build that new culture, that new understanding of what the standard needs to be and what we want to do to be successful. And, you know, it's just a bunch of guys who came from a bunch of different places and who have had winning cultures and brought it here and it translated into success on the field.
Yeah, I was with them last year, so I kind of knew how it goes. But speaking on like just players-wise, it's probably one of the closest receiver group, one of the closest groups I've been with. We all kind of an older group, all been in the game, but since I've been here, it's been nothing but love from everybody. So just having everybody buying every single day, that's all we've been doing.
Welcome back to The Player's Perspective, a podcast hosted by Miller Cobb and powered by Hoosiers Connect. As the official NIL collective of IU Athletics, Hoosiers Connect provides exclusive access to IU student athletes, offering fans an inside look at their lives both in and out of competition. Tune in weekly to hear stories and perspectives from the incredible athletes that make Hoosier Nation proud.
So I got three brothers, one older, two younger. And oldest one played football at Vanderbilt. Boy, barely played. O lineman. Got smacked though, just because when they were horrible.
Yeah.
And my youngest plays football. He's a junior at Miami, Ohio, quarterback.
Okay.
And so I told him like it's the first I guess I just did Mike first podcast with like football players because I've done basketball and with some coaches and stuff. But I was like, man, like what do I ask these guys? And I'm not like a big like interview person because I told you it's more of a conversation. But they did say with any receivers they were like, bro, you got to ask him who's the fastest to start off. And I was like, okay, well, I might as well. So is it a clear, like, who's the fastest, or is it just?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's definitely clear.
It's 100% me. It's 100% me.
Oh, you said you?
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, I'm going to take myself, but I ain't going to say I'm the
I'm
fastest.
faster than both of them, for sure.
So it's all three yourself?
Yeah.
Nah, not myself. I know I ain't the fastest. I ain't gonna lie.
And you seen the clip him last week. He just got hawked down, so it obviously takes him out the picture. So
He ain't
at
ran away
least
from
one
nobody.
option.
You never ran away from nobody, bro.
facts.
Okay.
Or the fastest dude in that room is Kobe, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Because
say.
he's a
Kobe.
track star, Florida, all that.
Track star.
Yeah.
Track guys, especially for Florida, can move.
Yeah, that
man.
track speed different.
No, they can move.
Yeah.
You said you got hawked down. I'm curious. I'm a basketball player. I played football, maybe in middle school or whatever. When you're not trying to get hawked down, what do you like? What's going through your mind when you see open field? Are you like, man, please don't catch me. Please don't catch me.
I'll be going blank a lot, to be honest. I'll just be running, I don't be thinking nothing. But it's times like that, I'll just be thinking, don't get caught. That's all I'll be thinking.
I'll just be running. I don't know. What he referring to is like, it's a little different. I couldn't catch my feet, so I couldn't really get in my groove to really get going. But open ground and everything, I could really take off and get busy. But he had one, he was getting chased by like a D lineman, so he looked fast because he was chasing him, but like, he wasn't really sliding like that for real.
I'm also curious because I tell people all the time I do these interviews, podcasts, like just because I'm curious. Like I don't really ask the questions to try to get like information or stories, just because I might want to be a coach one day, but I also just like am obsessed with athletes and getting to know them better and learning like what makes them great. Talk to me about footwork, because I'm not a dude who's known for his like footwork and his speed. Like wide receivers have to have elite footwork. So what's that like, or what's your training like to work on that?
I feel like we get paid for our feet, to be honest. I mean, we ain't have good feet, you can't play receiver. Got to get in and out your breaks, but just putting the time in, practice, workouts, just doing different stuff to make sure you good.
How do you improve? Like, if I'm a high school wide receiver, 9th grade, how do I get better at that?
For me, I would say like ladder drills. Ladder drills help a lot. First starting off slow, but then end up picking it up the more you do it. Or the summer, I would say that's the most where you can work on it. You got a lot of free time by yourself. So when you're doing nothing, just go to the field and just start doing stuff that you want to work on. And I believe that helps. That helps a lot more. But those are the two main things I would say.
And it's also like it's a million Instagram pages where you can find drills and all these route kings, route guys, and all that. You could find like plenty of drills you could just go in the backyard and do yourself. Like you don't have to pay anybody. It's just,
That's kind of how I got better for real, just going, looking up drills and doing them myself. I ain't have a trainer at the field growing up or nothing, so I was just out there doing stuff that I seen that I like, really.
Wow. That's crazy, because basketball, whenever you see like basketball trainers on Instagram or on social media, as a player and a pro, I'm like, dude, these guys are corny. Like they're like the worst drills, the worst tips. Like they're just scamming people, honestly.
You seen that one dude? He do like crazy stuff that say it's not travel or nothing. Yeah.
That like stuff like that. Like that guy's he's trying to sell something, but so you're saying like actually those pages on Instagram, those guys can have some good information.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
yeah, you got some that's like they just put all type of crazy stuff. They don't really translate to the actual game of football or playing receiver. But I mean, a lot of that stuff, they do it for the clicks and views. That's how you get the audience to engage. So
yeah. So you said you guys didn't like have trainers or anything like growing up. How did you work on your game? You just see videos and do them yourself?
Yeah, really, to be honest. For me, that's hard. Just every day, just doing it, getting better. And then, of course, once you get into a season, you have your coaches that's going to get you right. But in the off season, it was just me by myself, for real.
And then when it comes to somebody guarding you and somebody right in front of you, how much do you rely on your training and your reps versus somebody else, and versus maybe the fact that they're just there, or do you study their tendencies as well?
I would say just studying their tendencies, watching film, seeing like what other receivers would do on them that possibly work, and so trying to add that to the game, to my game each week. But then also just the training definitely translates, just because you're used to it, so it just happens naturally.
yeah, it kind of pretty much becomes second nature. Like you could watch a lot of film and you could understand tendencies and stuff, but when you out there lined up, you're not gonna always get the exact look you've seen on film. So it kind of relies on just natural reaction and instinct.
Yeah, I agree with what they say. Basically, just film. I mean, you already put the work in, so a lot of film for me is just seeing how they're gonna play me, and then I already know what I can do with my strengths off of.
Yeah.
Everything.
So I asked my brother as a quarterback, I was like, bro, give me some questions like I can ask these guys, like, because I don't play football, but I need something to ask them. He said, do you guys try to just see man or zone, or see the whole picture like the quarterbacks do?
For me, I would say man or zone. Seeing the whole picture is kind of hard, linebacker receiver, because there's people that's all the way on the opposite side, so they can do something totally different from how they aligned at the beginning of the play and just change it before the snap of the ball. So I try to see like the linebacker that's closer to me, the safety and then the corner that's over me and how they play.
Yeah, I agree. I'm corner, safety, linebacker. Just go off of there. It's kind of easy to tell man zone before the snap just because we done played football for so long. But yeah, that's what I'll go off of.
I know for basketball, like my role is a 3-point shooter. That's it, bro. I just shoot threes. My whole time here, I was sitting in the corner just like this, hoping they double team the post, hoping they would swing it and kick it out. But there's a lot of things people don't know about my movement, my spacing, when I moved certain spots, that they would never know unless like I just outright said it and showed them on film. What's the biggest misconception about wide receivers and your job that people don't realize?
Shit, a lot of people just think it's like the easiest job on the field. You know, you just run and catch the ball and, you know what I'm saying, you just have fun. But like they were talking about seeing man or zone, seeing the field, understanding coverages, leverages, techniques, like all of that stuff that goes into separating a good receiver from a great receiver. You know, it's a lot of technical stuff that people don't really see. Because, you know, if a receiver is easy, that means anybody could do it. But what separates the good from the great is the little things, like how smart you are, intangibles.
Blocking, we be in the trenches somewhat a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, especially being here. So blocking, we got get in them trenches and block for sure if you want to be a good receiver.
Gotta block.
I would probably say like something that people think easy is just catching the ball.
Yeah.
It's different when there's people across from you, and then also just the ball. It can come so many different types of way. Like of course, as a receiver, you want it perfectly right where you're going, but sometimes it just don't go that way. And so people think it's easy, but it's not as easy as it seems all the time.
We talked about blocking, like in the trenches.
It get.
What's about that? Like, what's that about?
I mean, it won't be too bad sometimes, but sometimes you might have to block a D lineman coming across. You might have to block a linebacker on a crack block, a safety coming down on a force block. It's just sometimes it get crazy in there. The pile might get up on you while you blocking. You might try to mess your ankles up and all that. So it get crazy sometimes, for sure.
That's got to be a big fear, huh?
I had to block a linebacker last game. My shoulder, I couldn't feel my shoulder for about 2 drives.
Is that something you know going into a game like this? Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have to lock in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Really?
Certain teams you go against, you like, all right, then blocking not gonna be too bad. But other times you got, all right, it's gonna be a physical game.
Yeah, and that's all just preparation and stuff, and they let you know, obviously that beforehand. How much do you guys know going into a game? Like, you know, Mike was saying there, like you guys know, prepare like to the T. Like, what's that preparation like? And I know you guys have crazy meetings and meetings and meetings. What is that like?
I would say our wide receiver coach is an offensive coordinator, so he's a big attention to details, wanting us to know every single thing. So being in the room with him, watching film with him, he makes sure that we know everything that we could possibly happen to us, what defenses could be K, how the DBs play, how the linebackers, safety play. So with him, it's just we, like you said, got to know everything to the T when it comes to being a wide receiver for him.
Yeah. No, so I also asked my brother, he said this exact question. And he always told me about fall camp, but I didn't really believe it. I was like, man, you're just like capping. Like you're talking about like being here from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I didn't believe it. I was like, you're trying to just make it look like you're working hard. Not telling your older brother like I'm working this hard. But I think I believe it now. So like, tell me about fall camp and just not having a life.
Basically, it's just a month of just straight work from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. I say with Coach Sig and them, they did a good job. We didn't go for more than, 3 days in a row practicing, so that's not normal. Most colleges are all week, 5-6 days in a row practicing. So at my past school, my freshman year, that's kind of how it was. It was bad, but once you get here, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, we was waking up. You wake up about 5:45 in the morning, get in, training room, meetings, practice, lift, meetings, walkthroughs. Like, Especially us, our receiver room, we always the last one out.
Yeah, facts.
Always the last ones out.
Because I coach the old coordinator, so we gonna know everything. But yeah, we the last ones every time.
Everything, alignment, assignment. Make sure your split is here and not here. Like,
If we 1 yard off of where we supposed to be, we're wrong. So just stuff like that. Yeah.
I had a coach my freshman year. He would stop practice if we do like shell defense. He would stop practice, and I hated it. But we would have to move like gaps based on where the ball's moving. Like the ball pulls you if, swings to the top of the key to the wing, like you got to move with the ball. He would stop practice and say, you have to be right here. Like 1 foot over, and I'd be there. I'd look at him, I'm like, bro, come on. I can just stop whole practice. Maybe like the head coach is looking at me now like I look bad.
That's how it be.
But is that the same thing for you guys?
Yeah, he'll yell at us during practice if we lined up wrong and stop the whole play and make sure that we align correctly just to make sure it look good.
Tell me about the fall camp, the meetings. Mike was saying, how tired he gets, how sleepy he gets, and his tricks for like staying awake. This dude said he would have a water bottle, like that Dasani water bottle, open up his eye, like poured in his eye to wake up. He'd do that like every 15 minutes.
Nah, I ain't have to do all that.
I've never heard that in my life, but do you guys have how would y'all stay locked in for those meetings?
It's hard. Them be feeling like some of the longest meetings you'll ever be a part of. Cause they said, you wake up 5:45, got to be at the stadium, then practice, then live, and meetings after. So it just feels like you already been woke for a whole day. Then got to go sit in an hour, 2-hour meeting. So the best thing I try to do is if I'm really tired, I gotta get up. I get
Stand
up
up
and them back, and then maybe just walk around for a little bit. But there ain't much you can do, but you just gotta make sure you stay woke, because if you don't, it's gonna be even bigger problem.
Over with.
Really? Have any of you guys fallen asleep before?
I done dozed off a little bit. I mean, it happens, but it happens. I ain't gonna lie, but
you're gonna have some meetings where you're in there fighting.
yeah, for sure.
The head nodding. I told this last time, but my freshman year we would have like film, and like we don't have like meetings in basketball. We just watch film like before practice or after practice, and it's especially worse like after a loss. Like it's double, triple, the length of film. And so my head coach would be sitting right here. He'd have his knee up like on the next chair, and so I'd hit one of these like this. And TV would be right there. He wouldn't see me, but there's no way he could see my eyes.
That's like you got to hit the little face cover for
That's
us.
it. No, it's a face cover. It's a face cover. And so I can imagine in the meetings, what do you got? What even goes on in there for hours? Because I asked my brothers, and they're like, yeah, I just got out of a meeting. And I'm like, what even happens in there?
In our meetings, we probably go over the same play about 5 to 10 times of him just rewinding it, going over where we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to do it, and just each play is like that, really.
Yeah, he's gonna break down every single receiver on the field.
Yeah.
If it's 4 receivers, 4 people they analyzed. If it's 3 get analyzed, but he's gonna break down every single person.
All y'all's journey has probably been, or is different to get here, where there's different staffs, different schools, different coaches, different teammates. How is this season, this year, this team, this staff different than the past, than your past potentially?
I would say when it comes to the staff, they just it's completely different from the staff that I had last year with Coach Allen. Coach Sig is just kind of his way or the highway kind of guy. So if it ain't his way, if it ain't done how he like it, then he gonna get somebody else that will do how he like it. And just with the teammates, it's just everybody hungry. Everybody, because we not used to winning here. We ain't been winning in a while. So everybody want to change that and just be a part of something special and make history. So I believe them are the two biggest things that I've seen that's different from the past couple of years I've been here.
For me, I spent my last 4 years at Wake Forest, playing football there. And that was another program that was up and down. We had some successful years, some successful teams. We had some not so good years. And, coming here, we had a lot of guys out the portal. And, where I was at, there was already a culture established in terms of what the standard was and everything. And, coming here, we kind of had to be the foundation to build that new culture, that new understanding of what the standard needs to be and what we want to do to be successful. And, it's just a bunch of guys who came from a bunch of different places and who have had winning cultures and brought it here and it translated into success on the field.
Yeah, I was with them last year, so I kind of knew how it goes. But speaking on just players-wise, it's probably one of the closest receiver group. One of the closest groups I've been with. We are kind of an older group, all been in the game, but since I've been here, it's been nothing but love from everybody. So just having everybody buying every single day, that's all we've been doing.
Yeah, I went to Northwestern for 3 years and then transferred here for my last 2. So I got to see 2 different programs, 2 different coaches, 2 different just offensive systems and schemes and stuff. 2 different cultures too. What was that like for you guys? Because I know it's different, but you talked about the standard, the culture, the standard. What's that look like on a day-to-day basis? Because I'm curious, just as a potential future coach, what's that feel like? What's it look like?
I would say the standard here, is just coming in every day and understanding that, you can't take that day for granted. Every day is important. Every rep is important. And they're going to coach every rep just as they coach the last rep because those reps matter when it comes to the game time. Those reps that you put in practice, say we have a play that's in the game plan and we got it in the game. If we mess it up 2 times in practice, that's coming out the game plan. Or, if you mess it up in practice, you might not see that rep again to the game. So it's they just preach that, everything matters, every meeting, every lift, every practice, every rep, it's just holding you to a high standard on everything.
One thing I say is I like Elijah. He said before every practice, I'm behind him in stretch lines. He be like, we got to find a way to get 1% better today. Yeah. And just having that mindset going into practice every day just helped me to stay focused and know that if I find a way to get 1% better today, when it comes to Saturday, I'll be way better than I was last week. So I'm better prepared.
And that's huge. So you coming over with Coach, you probably had that kind of weight on your shoulders to continue that culture and be that guy to kind of show everybody what it looks like, what it feels like. Is that what's your mindset going into that?
Just act myself, really. If they had questions about anything, tell them. But I wasn't trying to come in and step on anybody's toes. I was just trying to be myself and just put that work in. And as long as I'm putting the work in, I know everyone else is gonna see me putting the work in and want to do that every day. So I try to come out every day with a good attitude because there's people who I know don't play the game no more. So I try to come out and make sure everybody getting better every day.
Yeah, no, it's that's huge, man. Especially as older guys who've been around. You lead by example, but you also lead verbally. Letting guys know that you're there and you're locked in too. You're doing your job, so everybody else should do theirs too.
That's important. I feel like you can't preach something and then not be about it for real. I feel like
exactly.
Yeah, it works. It doesn't work together.
Now I've played with guys who were really, really good, some of the best players on the team, but they weren't the leaders because they didn't do the other the stuff you're supposed to do. Yeah. And people were always questioning me why isn't this guy leading? Why isn't he stepping up? The coaches would ask me why isn't he leading? Why isn't he stepping up? Because he knows deep down when you start to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of guys, that's hard to do because it's more responsibility, it's more weight on your shoulders, and it's just a tougher job to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to come in every single day and be like that for real. I mean, to be locked in every single day of every single practice, it takes a lot out of someone, but that's what you gotta do if you want to get to that certain point, you know?
Yeah, especially if you want to win.
Yeah.
So my first 2 years in college, we had 10 plus games in a row losing streak. In college, bad, super bad. When you're like 9 wins or 9 losses in a row, you get back on that bus and you're like, coach walks up and he's like, all right, guys, good fight today. And you're like, coach, I know you don't believe that. You're saying it, but you don't believe it. But how is it now? Because I know from my experience of losing like that to then playing here and winning, and then the next year, my last year, winning more. When you win, it's nice. I guess great vibes. What's that like, man? Because I know there's not always the 6-0. You're not always 5-0, 6-0, 7. Like you're not always not undefeated. So what are the vibes like, man? How's that feel?
Being here for 2 years before this coaching staff and what's happening now, it's just like a beautiful feeling, and it's a blessing, really. Just seeing like fans, like the crowd finally being packed and staying the whole game and just cheering us on. That's like one of the best feelings to have. So that, and then just being able to go into a game confidently, knowing like you can win this game if everybody do their job. That's just, it just helps you be more, like I said, confident and just trusting in yourself and the abilities that God blessed us with.
I think also with that, though, also can be a problem, you know, with that much success. You know, it's easy to get arrogant, cocky, to think you could just show up and win games and, you know, think it's going to be easy throughout the journey. But, you know, you got to be able to understand that, you know, what we did so far, what we have accomplished so far as a team, as a unit, or personal, you know, that's just a milestone of the ultimate plan, the ultimate goal. And we can't let what we've done so far, you know, distract us and make us feel overly too good about what's coming next, because, you know, we can get caught up looking at what the media says about us and all that stuff. But if we go out there and lose the next game, then all of that goes away and everybody's going to be saying we back to the old Indiana. So,
Facts.
Yeah. It's always tough because you got to have the mindset of enjoying it, being like grateful for it, but also understand that it's already done. Like it's over. Like the win is over. And now it's the next week, the next game. And if you don't have that, I can imagine in football it's even more important because there's less games. Because I know for basketball it's, you know, now, like I played the G League last year. We played like 50 something games. And it was the first time I ever came in after a game, after a loss, and I was mad. Like I was pissed. And I was like, man, like, come on. Like in my head, I'm like, come on, man. Like, man, we can't lose. And our coach came in. He's like, all right, guys, you know, see you tomorrow. And I'm like, wait, everybody's on their phones and stuff. And I'm like, wait, what's going on here? But it's a different, like, sense of urgency for you guys, for football players, because there's less games. Every game means more. And especially in college, too, for basketball, it was, you know, the same way, but just a little more games. So, did you guys play any sports, different sports growing up?
I played basketball in high school. I actually played with CJ Gunn.
Really?
Yeah, we was on the same team, and you know it was like growing up. Both my parents, they played college basketball, so growing up, I loved basketball more, wanted to play basketball more. But then once I got to high school, like I stopped growing. I was just like, I know I ain't got no chance going D1. They had me at like the 4. Oh, yeah. I'm like 6'1", 10 foot. So I was like, ain't no chance to be.
The 4.
Yeah, I was like, ain't no chance to be going.
You must have played basketball like a football player if they had you at the 4.
Nah, I was just athletic. I was real athletic, jump high, and then everybody else could just dribble better than me. So that's what. But I just grew up with a love of basketball. But football I was better, so I knew I had to make that step in football instead.
That's how it was with me. I always loved basketball more, but I knew I could go somewhere with football. I wasn't about to go nowhere with basketball, so.
Yeah, I was a basketball player too. I almost quit football and played basketball because my freshman and sophomore year in high school, I broke my shoulder back-to-back years and like missed out the whole season. And I was doing well in AAU and stuff, so I'm like, I'm about to chalk this football. Like, but my dad, he convinced me to play one more year and ended up working out for the best. But yeah, I played ball.
Did you ever play with Tyree Appleby at Wake?
No, I never played with him, but I just seen him around and all that. He was straight though. He's nice.
Yeah, me and him played together in France for a little bit.
Okay.
Last year, I was there for a small stint. Then
Who the best
got
player
back
you
here.
done played with or against?
The best player I played. Well, I was just at training camp with the Thunder for like a month, so I was with just all those guys.
Yeah.
So J-Dub, Chet, really, really good. Shea wasn't there at the time. He just came on, when he wanted to. And I'd probably say J-Dub, dude is good, man.
Yeah.
Guys, he's not like as tall as you think he would be, like 6'4", but his arms are super long. So and I told you I shoot threes, man, so I don't dribble. But the times that I had to, he would be guarding me, and I'd be like, nope. And I'd take one dribble, pick it up. Because, dude, his arms are just like extendo, just, and tip it, and just, yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah. But in college, I'd probably say Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole.
Yeah, I know he probably got busy in college.
He was super good. Super good. I played him when I was at Northwestern. And he played exactly like he plays now. Just like he didn't care. Step backs, just ISOs. And I was freshman when he was a sophomore, so he was feeling himself. And I just didn't want to guard him, man. Against those guys, against guys who can just really just blow by you, you gotta, for me, I just give him a step and a half and just make him shoot a contested jumper and just live with the result. But he made like all of his. So yeah, it's definitely different. Who, speaking of like matchups and stuff, do you guys look ahead, like for like the next week or whatever, like who's gonna be like matched up with you or who you might be matched up with?
Right, for the next upcoming game?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get that. Our coach give us like a sheet of paper that has the whole roster and with the starting lineup, so we know like who most likely gonna be starting, and he also has like their strengths, their weaknesses, so that we are prepared that way and just know what we need to work on that be able to help benefit us.
What are some of the strengths and weaknesses like that quarterback might have? Because I haven't thought about something like that.
Bad feet. They might be slow getting out their breaks. That's one thing. They hips might have bad hips. So little stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, like some not physical. Slow. Some got slower like top end speed and can like if you run by them, it'll be harder for them to catch up to you. It's just little things like that.
Yeah, if you watch enough tape, you get to like pick up on tendencies like what routes beat them the most, what they struggle with. When do they open up and turn and run, or are they scared of getting beat deep, or they want to sit and play catch? Do they want to press and be physical? There's a lot of stuff you can pick up on just by watching.
That's interesting. All right, I got two more questions that just popped in my head because I'm curious. I asked Mike, center, just a dirty job. And I asked him, I said, what position would you want to be for a day or for a game? And he said either quarterback, just because it's quarterback, or defensive end. Like he said he would want to be like TJ Watt. But you said that you guys kind of have the best job. You just run around and catch the ball. Okay, what's the last position you'd ever want to play for a game?
O-line.
Yeah.
What?
Some O-line. center or something like that. Yeah. I'm not about to be hitting someone's head every single snap.
Every
bro.
snap, bro. Every snap, every practice. Like, we practice, like, it's like, all right, thud or stay up. They live every day.
Hard
they
every
live,
day.
like,
No matter how they body feel or nothing, you just smacking each other. Man.
yeah, that's OD what they do.
Oh man. And then the last one I got is hardest hit you've ever taken.
Hardest hit I've ever taken.
For me, I would either consider my junior year of high school. I ran like an out route, like a 10-yard out route, and the DB was like in cover 2. So I caught the ball, but as soon as I turned my head, he coming down full speed and he just smacked me. And so like I had to hurry up, get up, act like I was cool and point it to a first down, but I came out right after, celebrate, but then came out right after that. But then my second one would probably be last year against Michigan. I had caught a ball. I had caught a ball, jumped up for it, and like somebody undercut my leg, and I like flipped over and landed like on my head and back. And that was shitty. Like that was just, I don't know, just a surprise and scary kind of.
That's. I always say every basketball player, there was a moment in time when he got hit so hard that he decided that, like, yeah, basketball's for me.
For me, it might have been my senior year in high school. I ran like a glance, middle of the field for like the first down. Safeties, opposite safety, free safety sitting right at 10, like not budging. And they was like, high school, you know, they watching you everywhere you go. As soon as I catch that, John, boom! Straight shoulder, my chest. I also did the get up fake celebrate like I was straight too. I did like I was straight too, but that hurt right there. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, so you guys, that's part of it, is knowing that, hey, I just got rocked, but I have to stand up and show them that I'm good.
Really got to. You just.
Yeah, they might leave you alone after that. If you act like you's hurt, they gonna come back at you. They gonna try to get you again.
Mine was probably like little league for real. Like I used to play up because I used to play with my brother. One time I remember we played this team called the Cougars. I'm at linebacker, youngin'. Running back come through the joint. I'm going to make the tackle. Like, oh yeah, boom, ran me over. I swear, both my feet and everything was in the air. I almost quit after that. My parents had to make me keep playing, but
No, bro. When I was 6, I think I was either 6 or 5. We played this team called the Raiders. They had this running back. He had orange sleeves. They was wearing blue and yellow, but his sleeves was orange. Bro, I caught like a jet sweep. I'm running up the sideline. He come out of nowhere. Boom, shoulder, bro. It's like our sideline like on a hill. So he hit me. Bro, I rolled down the hill. my chin was bleeding. I don't know how my chin was bleeding. But after that, I sat on the sideline. The coaches kept coming back. Like, you ready to go back in? Like, nah. I'm still hurt. Like, I was faking it. I wasn't hurt no more. I was just want to go back in. But yeah, that was almost my quick
your
story.
pride be hurt after that.
What, bro?
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
He was cooking everybody too, yo.
I think that's got to be the equivalent of in basketball is getting dunked on. Has to be, right?
I feel like getting dunked on worse, low key.
Yeah, this guy.
I feel like the worst thing in basketball is getting broke and you fall. Like I just be scared. I used to be scared of that happening in high school. Like just because then you know that's gonna be on the highlight tape. You gonna see it on social media after.
So say somebody driving baseline and you the help man. You gotta come up off the block, get some help. And he, boom. You rather have someone cross you than
because they could miss a shot though too. If they miss a shot, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But if you get boomed on, it's and then you get to take the ball out. You are.
But you seen when Ant Edwards dunked on that dude from the Raptors?
Oh my God, the Asian guy.
Wannabe or whatever.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen.
You got dunked on before?
I have once. It was kind of like a side, kind of like I jumped so on film it would look good. Like, yeah, you contested it. I tried, coach. But I kind of jumped to the side a little bit. But it was that same play. It was like a ball screen on the wing, and the guy rejected it, and I was not even supposed to be the low man, but I just saw it, and I kind of peeked back to the guy who should have gone, He didn't go. And I was like, man, I got to do it. And I went up there. Didn't even try to block it. I just like put my hands up like this. And that was it. But at the Thunder, they have something called like the moment of truth, which is like, this is a moment of truth for a reason. So you got to contest it. Like you got to go up there and meet him at the rim. Yeah.
That's a crazy drill.
Those are tough because, well, it's like the system of the defense is like, if somebody gets to the rim and you're low man, you have to, like, you got to make the moment of truth. And if you don't, then it looks terrible on film. And then just look weak. But yeah, one of my boys, actually, his first game, got just boomed on. Rookie, first game ever NBA game.
Trace.
But it was a moment. It was a kid for the Thunder, actually. One of my guys. And I was watching him, like, hey, come on. Like, it was actually like the second minute he was in the game. I'm like, let's go, man. He's low, man. Guy gets beat. He gets there like a second late, and he's not very athletic, so tough. And the NBA posted it to him. He goes up like this, 2 hands, boom. And he took the ball out so fast.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, you have to. Thankfully, I didn't call a foul, though, because I would have been. And I texted my friend after that, and I just said, because right before I was like, hey, he's in, like, let's go. And then right after he dunked, I said, damn. But that's definitely worse than getting rocked. Because, at least you can stand up and do that.
So, would you rather get dunked on or a game winner on you?
Dunked on. Dunked on.
Yeah, sure.
Game winner, you're letting your team down. You're getting sunned. And you're just, like, you have to watch them sit there and, like, celebrate right in front of you.
Facts. Game winner, that'd be crazy.
Dude, there was a guy, Rutgers, Ron Harper, hit a game winner on us at home. And it was bad. Like, he celebrated in front of the whole crowd. It was bad. We don't need to bring that up. We'll cut that out, honestly. So then we'll cut that because, people don't want to hear about that. But yeah, man, that's the end of the podcast, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, great, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for the time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
And I'm the best hooper on the team, too. I just want to throw that out there. I'm better than Coop. I'm better than Elijah.
We just got to run it one day.
Better
We'll
than
see.
Miles. Miles Cross, you going to see this. I'm better than you. Really? Justice, I'm better than you. Yeah.
Best hooper on the team?
Stamping it.
Everybody always gonna say they the best.
Nobody can guard me. Stamping it.
Wow. Fastest and
The hooper is guaranteed. That's a lot. You feel me? All other stuff, that don't matter.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you
guys have a good one.
You too.
We hope you loved this episode of Players Perspective. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Stay connected with Hoosiers Connect on social media for even more exciting content featuring IU student athletes. Until next time, Hoosier Nation.